My boys, what's going on? And welcome back. Here today we have a Kiki review, which is what I'm redoing from one of my old videos back when I first started. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so starting off with the Kiki review, we have the Dark Kiki. And Dark Kiki is an attacker type coming in with 27k HP, nearly 28k HP, 3.3k attack, and then 2.3k defense. Stat-wise, it's acceptable. Her HP pool is actually pretty great. Her attack stat is actually pretty great. Defense is okay. She's an attacker type. I can't expect 3k defense on everything, but she's definitely usable, and I absolutely love her design. Kiki looks freaking amazing. But she comes in with adrenaline, and then her predator is 30%, which is lovely because of course she is AoE and she does have books. But very useful mon. I used her quite a ton when she first came out because at that time she was pretty much my only pseudo dark nuker. I say pseudo because predator really isn't a nuking type move. I mean, it can be, but it doesn't compare to just having hunter. It really doesn't, in my opinion. And with adrenaline, 20% restoration of her own HP gives her some self-sustain as an attacker as well. I would love for this to have been battle rush instead, or morale boost, but it is what it is. I mean, she's almost like a great value dark Mona, which is okay, but if this is all that you have right now, Dark Kiki is a solid choice until you get better mons. Unfortunately, mine is pretty much retired at this point because I just have better mons. But on Ruin set, even still, I mean, sometimes her AoEs, the damage, just fairly impressive. But I mean, you could definitely use her in a lot of places. I used her in Tower of Chaos. I used her during the story at certain stages. I used her farming like star stones and element stones as well. So she definitely has her uses. Just once you pull better mons, she does kind of die off, which is unfortunate because quite a lovely design on her. But next up is Light Kiki, who is a defender type, coming in with 26k HP, 2.4k attack, and then 3.6k defense. So she actually has all kinds of defense, my boys. All kinds. Her HP is okay, but her defense is great, and attack is surprisingly okay for a defender type. But this one comes in with exposed weakness, 70% chance for 2 turns, and then shock, 70% chance for 1 turn, and she does have books as well, but I don't know what they go to because the Astro Guide doesn't show it. But her main uses is just really exposed weakness. Shock is nice, but exposed weakness number 1 is pretty much why people use her. She is usable in Titans. She is also usable in places like Colossus or anywhere else where you feel like you would need exposed weakness. But of course, just keep her tanky because even though she does have the attack, you could in theory build her more offensively, but her main selling point is just exposed weakness. So focus on that. I do see her in clan versus clan from time to time, and sometimes she does put in work while other times it's just kind of hit and miss. But her predominant use is just that exposed weakness. So if you need a place where exposed weakness can be put into work because her animation isn't that short, then feel free to figure out where you could use her at and put her to work. If you want to use her in Titans, feel free to do that. If you want to use her in clan versus clan, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Let's go over here to Light Kiki. Not Light Kiki, Wood Kiki, my bad. Wood Kiki is an attacker type coming in with nearly 26k HP, 2.7k attack, and then 1.6k defense. Stat wise, okay. Almost 3k on a nat 3, dude. That is actually pretty darn cute, man. That's pretty darn cute. She comes with petrification and then hunter, 30% increase on her hunter. And she does have skill books, so maybe that goes to 50. If it goes to 50, then that's okay, but she is critical hit reliant for both of her moves. I personally am not a big fan of petrification. I know that Water Wild Thing has made a comeback due to her recent changes, especially for petrification and her ability to be super evolved, but in my opinion, this one just isn't worth it. Petrification and Hunter aren't a nice duo, and in terms of her uses, you have to wait until she gets her SP bar full before you could take advantage of her hunter anyways, which isn't ideal. And not to mention, she doesn't really have the stats to back up bringing her somewhere where you would put that to use. Now, I could be wrong about this, and Deuce could be tearing up some wood Kikis somewhere out there. So if you are a big wood Kiki user, feel free to leave a comment below where you use her at and why don't you use her, just to show boys that, hey, Eileo's not right all the time. Wood Kiki is actually a hidden OP gem. But next up we have Water Kiki, who's a balance type, coming in with nearly 29k HP, 1.8k attack, and then 2k defense. They're saying that she's balanced, but those stats have determined that was a lie. You guys just might as well make her tank type. Go ahead and give her like 10k more HP and keep her attack and defense like that, because those stats are just gag me with a machete. But she comes with Buff Breaker and then Blind. I never have found a use for Buff Breaker. Back in the day before Tower of Chaos was a walk in the park, Buff Breaker actually had a use in maybe 1 or 2 places of it. Maybe that was Shield Breaker. Actually, I could be wrong. Maybe that was Shield Breaker, because I remember Water Katyn being actually useful there. But Buff Breaker and Blind, I have no use for this mon. I really have no use. I can't tell you guys where to use her at or where she would be useful at. So if you do use Water Kiki, then I'm shouting out to you to provide your boy with some insight to help others out. But I personally never found a use for it. Maybe Colossus, but just get her for the Asher Guide, boys. Just get her for the Asher Guide. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about that one, unfortunately. But let's go over here to the last one, which is the Fire Keek. Alright, so Fire Keek is balance type, coming in with 25k HP, 2.3k attack, and then 2.3k defense. This is more balanced. This is more up my alley. I never noticed that her broom is actually like a dog, which is actually kind of creepy. That's actually kind of creepy, my boys. It's like a dog with like ears and... Okay, moving on. She comes in with Shield Breaker and then Defense down, 70% chance for 2 turns. Maybe this would be extended to 3 turns, or maybe it'll go up to 80% chance with skill books. But again, Shield Breaker was useful at one point in time with Tower of Chaos. But before Kiki came out, we had Water Katyn, who is still easily farmable compared to Kiki, which you have to pull from eggs. So again, not really any use for this mon. I mean, to those of you that use her for Shield Breaker, feel free to leave a comment below where you use her at. But I never really found a use for the RGB Kikis, even when she first came out. And she's been out for at least a year and some change, in my opinion. But I mean, that's pretty much the Kiki review. I definitely love her design. Her design is very, very awesome, even though she has like 3 fingers and a thumb. And really, the only ones worth mentioning right now are the light and the dark Kikis, depending on where you're at in the game. Light Kiki may have more use in game than dark Kiki. But that's pretty much it for the Kiki review, my boys. I definitely hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.